we're back for another Bible reading. Last na ginawa natin to, nag-end up tayo dun sa story ni Jacob wrestling with a man of God. And then yun, na-bless na siya. So, again, this video is dedicated sa mga hinighlight ko na sections or verses sa Bible which are kumbaga nag-resonate sa akin and nagandahan ako dun sa story or nagkaroon ng significant impact sa akin. So yeah. So we'll jump sa Genesis chapter 37 verse 5. So ayun, si Jacob nagkaroon na siya ng mga anak and then one of his sons is si Joseph. So si Joseph meron siyang parang gift of kaya niyang i-interpret yung dreams. And then, I think in this verse, meron din siyang gift na parang prophecy somehow. Kasi sabi dito sa verse 5, "Now Joseph had a dream. And when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more." So yung dream niya is about, "Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." So kaya nagalit yung mga kapatid niya is because parang ini-establish niya yung sarili niya na mas mataas over dun sa mga kuya niya, di ba? So this specific chapter is a foreshadowing ng mga mangyayari sa mga next na chapter. So, later, balikan natin to kapag nadaanan natin yung sinasabi ko. I don't wanna spoil everything. So, yeah. And then, let's jump to verse 26. Still the same chapter, 37. "Then Judah said to his brothers, 'What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hands be upon him. For he is our brother, our own flesh, and his brothers listened to him." So, ang bala kasi nung una is patayin siya. So, sabi ni Judah dito, yun na nga lang, ibenta na lang sa Ishmaelites. So, anong nangyari? Since binenta sa Ishmaelites, napunta si Joseph sa Egypt. So I think this is also foreshadowing din yung kay Moses na napunta rin sa Egypt. Kumbaga sa Pharaoh, yun. And then, ang next na meron dito is, yun nga, balikan ko lang dun sa sabi, "My sheaf arose and stood upright. And then yung mga brothers niya gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." So this is also a foreshadowing kasi sige, sabihin ko na, yung mga brothers niya, during the famine, nagkaroon ng famine, yung brothers niya from Canaan pumunta sa Egypt to buy grains. And, yun, grains. Kasi si Joseph ang nag-keep ng mga grains during the famine. Before. You will know why. Okay? So, yun. Sa Genesis pa rin, chapter 41, verse 16, "Joseph answered the Pharaoh, 'It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer." So, ang note dito is, hindi tinitake ni Joseph yung credit sa gift niya, kundi all skills came from him. So, we should also do that. So, kahit gaano ka pakagaling na entertainer or vlogger or businessman or anything, perfumer, lahat ng talents natin came from God. So, let us not forget to thank Him and be grateful. And, of course, gamitin natin sa makabuluhang bagay, wag sa kung ano-anong kalokohan. Verse 28. "It is I told Pharaoh, God has shown to Pharaoh what he is about to do. there will become 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. But after them, there will arise 7 years of famine, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt. So, ito yung, ang context na ito is nagkaroon nga ng panaginip, yung Pharaoh. Kasi, ang panaginip niya is this, 7 cows, plump and attractive. And then the other one, 7 ugly cows ate up at the first 7 plump cows. So, yun nga yung ibig sabihin nun, yung 7 na plump cows, yung healthy na cows, is yun yung prosperity, 7 prospering years. And then, yung 7 na ugly cows, yun yung famine. So, ang key takeaway natin dito is, yun nga, hindi araw-araw Pasko. So, we should also prepare for days na hindi paldo lagi. So, yun. Either you're a businessman or an employee, save portion of your income pa rin for days na kakailanganin natin sila. So, wag tayo maging one day millionaire. And by the way pala, kaya na-connect si Joseph sa Pharaoh is meron kasi siyang unang masters. So, yung asawa ng master sineseduce si Joseph. So, tumatanggi si Joseph. Ang ginawa nung asawa, yung babae, binaliktad niya si Joseph. Sinumbong niya dun sa asawa na parang baliktad na siya yung sineseduce or nagte-take advantage. So, yung master, pinatapon siya sa pit, yung pit or prison. And then, dun sa prison na yun, nakasama niya yung dalawang servant ng Pharaoh. The first one is baker ata. And then, the other one is cupbearer. Basta dalawa yan. And then, nagkaroon sila ng dream yung dalawang yan. Yung isa, ang panaginip is parang ihang siya. Ay, balikan natin. Nakalimutan ko na eh. Yan natin ah. Ayun, tama. Cupbearer and baker. Ang napanaginipan, ayun. Sabi ng cupbearers, ito nasa chapter 40 verse 9 tayo. So the chief cupbearer told his dream to Joseph and said to him, "In my dream there was a vine before me, and on the vine there were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, its blossoms shot forth, and the clusters ripened into grapes." So, ang interpretation dito ni Joseph, dun sa dream ng cupbearer, is that ibabalik siya nung Pharaoh sa kinaupuan niyang power. And then, yung panaginip naman ng baker is kabaliktaran. May panaginip siya, and then, ibig sabihin, gaganunin siya ni Pharaoh. So, yun nga, dahil bumalik na sa power yung cupbearer, sabi ni Joseph na wag daw siyang kalimutan kasi nasa prison siya or sa pit. So, yun. Pero, nakalimutan siya ni Joseph. Naalala lang ulit si Joseph nung cupbearer nung nanaginip na si Pharaoh. Kaya yun, kinonect niya yung dalawa. And, yeah, yun lang din yung sa tingin kong lesson na even if we're in prison, not literally in prison, or kung, kasi pwede tayo maging prisoner of the past, prisoner of our addiction. Even if nasa prison tayo or we're being held in chains nung something na yon and we can't move forward, nandun tayo sa bottomless pit na tingin natin we cannot claw our way up. Even if nandun tayo sa moment na yun na we're drowning of our problems, of our anxiety, of our depression, God has a purpose for us. God still has plan para sa atin. Kasi kung ikaw si Joseph, diba, pinatapon ka na, pinakulong ka, syempre may isip mo na wala ka ng, diba, wala ka ng pag-asa sa buhay. Pero yun, ngayon, nasa Pharaoh na siya. And then, let's see kung ano mga mangyayari after this. Ayan. So, going back, in-interpret na nga ni Joseph yung panaginip ng Pharaoh. So, yun. Nag-keep nga siya for 7 years. Maganda yung mga harvest. So, kinip nila yung mga portion na yon para for the coming 7 years of famine, meron silang magagamit and meron silang pagkain and meron silang mabibenta. So to, Joseph's brother go to Egypt. Chapter 42, verse 6. Now Joseph was governor over the land. He was the one who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brother came and bowed themselves before him with their faces on the ground, to the ground. So, ito yung sinasabi ko na foreshadowing nung dream ni Joseph sa chapter 37, di ba na Joseph had a dream. When he told it to his brother, they hated him even more. My sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves gathered around it, and bowed down to my sheaf. So, di ba nga, yun yung naging cause of galit niya. Pero, naging totoo. It turns out na totoo pala na mangyayari. And yun nga, literally, they bowed down to Joseph, not knowing na yun yung kapatid nila na binenta nila sa Egypt. Yun literal na comeback is real. Ewan ko, ang dami nagsabi na boring yung Book of Genesis, pero because of this story ni Joseph, nandito yung parang color nandito yung excitement. Yeah. But anyways, let's move forward. Yeah. Sa chapter 42, verse 21, then they said to one another, in truth, we are guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress of his soul when he begged us, and we did not listen. So, ito yung they correctly connect their current troubles to what they did to Joseph. So, ano yung troubles na sinasabi dito? Di ba yun nga? They bow down to their brother, which is Joseph, para bumili ng grains. Si Joseph, ayaw sila pagbilan kasi sabi ni Joseph, I think you are spies. So, pero ano lang naman yun, nakilala niya kasi yung mga kuya niya eh. Pero siya, hindi siya nakilala. So, gusto i-test ni Joseph yung character nung mga kapatid niya. Sabi niya, maiwan yung isa, and then, umuwi sa Canaan, and then dalin yung youngest brother, which is si Benjamin. Kasi nga, gusto niya makita eh. So, yun. Kaya, on the way, ito yung sinabi nila na balikan nila yung pangyayari dun sa ginawa nila kay Joseph. So, yeah. Yun yung backstory nun. So, moving forward, dinala naman ni Judah si Benjamin sa Egypt kay Joseph. So this is chapter 44 verse 33. Now therefore please let your servant remain instead of the boy as a servant to my lord, and let the boy go back with his brothers. So pinapastay na kasi ni Joseph si Benjamin. Pero, sabi ni Judah, siya na lang daw in replacement nga kay Benjamin. Kasi, may promise siya kay Jacob or Israel na walang harm na mangyayari kay Benjamin. Kasi sabi ni Jacob or ni Israel, hindi na niya daw makakaya yung sakit. Kasi nawalan na nga siya ng anak si Joseph. Kasi ang akala nga nila, 'di ba? They trick their father into thinking na patay na si Joseph. So sabi niya, hindi niya na kaya na mawalan pa ulit ng anak. So yun. I think out of fear and respect kay Jacob, sa tatay niya. And also, yun nga, feel ko may character development din naman si Judah kahit papano. So, in this character development, mafo-foreshadow dito yung ibe-bless ni Lord sa kanya sa mga susunod na chapter. Which is napakaganda. I'm very excited to share this to you. Tingnan natin lang baka hindi pala nakafocus. No? Kaya feeling ka nakafocus. Yan. Ayan. Yung note dito, basahin natin. Yung please let your servant remain instead of the boy. Judah's selfless attitude reveals his transformed character. His loving self-sacrifice proves he is worthy of leadership. Yun yung ibe-bless sa kanya ni Lord. Sa chapter 49, verse 8 to 10. So, bibigyan siya ng, guess who? Lineage. Papunta kay David. And, if you're aware, kay David din manggagaling yung lineage going down to the Messiah itself. To the Messiah himself, Jesus Christ. Spoilers alert! Sorry. Hindi ko na mapigilan yung sarili ko na i-share kasi ang ganda. Isipin niyo, Book of Genesis pa lang pero mamaya ang dami nating ma-connect na books which are further down the line talaga. Not just in pages but also in years. So yan. Going back, chapter 45 verse 8. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt. So yeah, nireveal na niya yung sarili niya na ito nga ako, ito yung kapatid niyo na binenta niyo sa Ishmaelites, na napunta ako sa Egypt. So ito, may note ako dito na take away ko, sabi ko dito, even bad events may lead to good if God is behind it, or God raises up those who were treated wrongly. So yun nga, kasi 'di ba binenta nga siya sa Ishmaelites, tapos nahiwalay siya sa family niya, but God has a bigger plan pala para kay Joseph. So, yun nga, nawala siya sa pamilya niya, minaltrato siya, kinulong siya, and then maging governor din pala siya ng Egypt, di ba? And then, yun nga, lahat ng mapagmataas nga daw, ibinababa ng Diyos. Lahat ng mapagkumbaba ay inaangat ng Diyos. May specific verse and passage yan for the future, for the next books. I forgot lang kung ano yung specific. Hindi pa ako masyadong magaling sa ganun. But yeah. Kaya nasabi ni Joseph dito na it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt. So, yeah. If you feel like life is not going towards your plans or ways, just keep the faith kasi God is writing your story. And yeah, you just wait to have it unfold. Kasi you'll never know. Baka you're the Joseph of the story, di ba? So, we'll jump to chapter 49, verse 8. So, eto na yung blessing. Sabi ni Jacob, Judah, your brothers shall praise you. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow down before you. And later on, continue tayo sa verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until tribute comes to him. And to him shall be obedience of the people. So ito yung sinasabi ko, napakaganda. The scepter shall not depart. Judah will forever possess royal authority through David's lineage. So let's jump to 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 11 to 16. Imagine guys, page 64 and then page 37. 337. Ang layo no? So from the very start pa lang, binless na nga ni Lord, di ba? And then, ito, fino-fulfill na. Okay? So, ito, the Lord's covenant with David. Si David yung king na under ng Judah tribe. Di ba? Moreover, chapter 7, verse 11. Moreover, the Lord declares to you that the Lord will make you a house. And then, jump tayo sa verse 13. I will establish the throne of His kingdom forever. Diba? Sabi dito, diba, sa Genesis pa lang, the scepter shall not depart. So, dahil dun sa character development ni Judah, which is, again, masamang tao before, dahil binenta yung kapatid, pero nagkaroon siya ng self-sacrifice para i-save si Benjamin. Binless na siya ni Lord na siya na sa lineage niya doon mapupunta yung mga king and eventually king of kings, 'di ba? Which is Jesus Christ. So basahin natin yung note dito. Make you a house, establish David's royal line. And then, sabi dito, establish his kingdom forever. This kingdom will not end. Later passages indicate that the Messiah will fulfill this promise. So, we'll jump to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 1 to 7. Page 337 tayo. Yung pupuntahan natin is page 737. Doble, di ba? Isaiah is one of the books na gustong-gusto ko kasi dito yung prophecy talaga ni Jesus. 9, 1 to 7. Layo ko. Yan. Ayan, sa chapter 9, verse 6, hinighlightan ko, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace, there will be no end on the throne of David and over his kingdom. Diba? Na-connect eh. So, from Judah, David, and then Jesus. Lupit. Meron pa ba dito? Ayan. Sa balik tayo sa 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 16. And your house and your kingdom shall be made sure forever before me. Nakalagay dito, later text reveals that the Messiah Jesus of Nazareth fulfills his promise. So let's go to Luke 1:32-33. page 1131. Nasa page 338 tayo. Na pinagmulan is yung Genesis na nasa page 64. So, kaya sobrang hype na hype ako eh. Sobrang magkaka-connect talaga sila, mga bro. Yeah. Ang daming mga foreshadowing sa Old Testament, tapos fino-fulfill din sa Old Testament, and then fino-fulfill sa New Testament. Kaya hindi siya yung sinasabi nilang contradicting, no? So, yan. Punta tayo kay Luke chapter 1, verse 32 to 33. 1131. Damn! Layo. 131. Yon. Sabi dito, and the angel said to her, so ito si Gabriel, kinakausap niya si Mary. Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus. So yun. Yun yung connection dito. And your house and your kingdom shall be made sure forever before me. And ito rin, na-foreshadow din to sa, I think sa Isaiah din to, na, yun nga, from a virgin manggagaling yung Son of Man. Okay? So, yeah, ang key takeaway ko dito is, kasi nga, di ba, from Judah to David to Jesus, for generation, God is faithful. God will fulfill His promises to you. Regardless kung 10 generations, 100 generations, or thousands of generations. God will still be faithful because He's a faithful God. So in return, dapat we should not fear or we should not worry because God will always, always, always fulfill His promises to us. See? Meron pa ba tayong makabalikan dito? Yeah, meron din ako ditong note. Key takeaway or lesson ko with all these readings. Actually, yun na yung hinighlight ko last. Bakit kaya si Judah yung piniling maging tribe na panggagalingan sa bloodline ni Jesus and not Joseph? Kung tutusin nyo, si Joseph yung kumbaga pinaka-qualified, di ba? And not Judah kasi because of his past. But guess what? God does not judge us from our past. Because tayo kasi tinitignan lang natin yung standard based on our humanity. But God sees beyond that. God can see through our heart. Di ba? Kaya, yun talaga yung turning point nung nangyari kay Judah na sacrifice na lang nga daw niya yung sarili niya and not si Benjamin. Yeah. And then, yun nga, God does not call the qualified, but rather, He qualifies those people He called. So, merong, kumbaga, fino-forge niya yung taong tinatawag niya. He takes them into fire or process para maging qualified siya. So, it works both ways Kung sa tingin mong righteous ka na and sa tingin mo ikaw dapat, feeling ko kailangan mo i-humble yung self mo. Kasi Hindi ganun nag-work si Lord. And on the other side, if you think na parang wala kang kwenta, patapon ka, no. As long as may plano si Lord sa'yo, hindi imposible na maging qualified ka if God chooses you. Kung sa tingin mo na walang katuturan or walang pupuntahan yung buhay mo, walang, kumbaga yung landas mo, napariwara ka na, no, wag kang panghinaan ng loob dahil God still has a plan for you. So if you're depressed, if you're worried, if you're sad, if you're in pain, if you're mourning, God still has a plan for you. May rason bakit ka gumising ngayong umaga, ngayong hapon, ngayong tanghali, ngayong araw na to. Bakit buhay ka pa? Kasi meron pang plano si Lord sa'yo. So just keep the faith because God is faithful. He fulfills His promises across time and generations. Yun lang. Sana marami kayong natutunan ngayon and sana kung may pinagdadaanan ka man, it uplifts you and gives you reassurance na better days will come. And whatever your current situation, it will not be forever. Okay? So, ibigay nyo lang lahat. Surrender nyo lahat kay Lord. Lahat ng worries nyo, lahat ng fears, problems. Because our God is bigger than those. Amen? Thank you for watching. See you on the next vlog. Peace!